Appreciate it. We almost got it. There it is. I was sitting here thinking, with all the current debauchery in the world, of what it would look like if we let, I don't even say if we let, if children ran the world for a day, and what that would look like. And I only say that because out of every interaction I've had in the last month, the realest ones were with the kids. I'm talking about authenticity. I'm not talking about, fucking delinquents type shit. Because we definitely do have children running the world. They just haven't matured into adults. And maybe not just like children. I'm talking about that spirit that children have. With a bit of guidance. Some days it looks like there's no way we're gonna make it out of this shit without something cataclysmic happening. Due to a bunch of bullies who are ignorant and racist and predators, right? Making all the decisions, and we got fingers on very sensitive buttons. I was thinking what the opposite of that would look like. Oh, well. What's gonna happen when I get my lighter away? I knew mine wasn't gonna work. Damn it. I don't like this innocent. And this bitch just gave out. And another reason I say that is, you hear a lot of this argument of what people aren't doing, but I don't hear a lot of solutions either. It's like, what would you do in that position? all for people, pursuing their goals and working their butts off and everything else, but to get where they're at. But there's just certain things in place that keeps it within a certain margin. And even how that all is used to play against one another in such a manner that we get caught looking in the wrong direction. So I got a piece of wood out back that I might bring in. I'm thinking of redoing one of my favorite pieces that I've done, which was the 2020 recap and what I felt was going on. And it was a big chessboard with everything that we were shown and everything we didn't see going on. I think I have it over in the book. I'll pull it out. In a hot second. But do we even care anymore? Sometimes it really seems like a bad dream. You know what I'm saying? You just can't quite pinch yourself out of that motherfucker. And I'm speaking collectively. On a collective level. I'm at the park by the tree looking at the ants. And they still got the formula and they're still very successful. Definitely got their priorities in place, you know what I'm saying? And are not afraid to fight for that. Because one of them little jokers bit me, and my God, I don't know what kind of venom they're working with. But if just one can cause that kind of reaction from a bite, imagine what a million would do to you. It's like we're looking for answers, and the divine has put them in face. They've been doing their thing the whole time. Answers have been right in front of us. But y'all don't hear me though. I had to make sure to remind myself a long ago that this channel, even though I don't own the stream, which is a bit of a problem, I might start downloading a lot of these videos and archiving them because I'd rather have them as part of the legacy in a way, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I do see the benefit in sharing it with others, not just for myself. What's going on, Trigger? You back again, huh? How's everything with you? You must have called out early. I saw your comment late yesterday or the other day. Yeah, I am too. I'm just on my little philosophical kick. I was looking at the clips of that fucking school teacher driving from Cali to DC to off the president. Part of me just mad that he fucked it up and didn't get his job done, right? But at the same time, it's just like such a played out narrative. Some real goofy shit, you know what I'm saying? Some real goofy shit. But at the same time, underneath all this, there's an unshakable kind of feeling I have. And it gets a little bit stronger and louder every day. Of, I don't know how to quite describe it. I guess not alternative, but an alternate splitting of the timelines. It's hard to explain. It's like when you wake up and just the sun hits different. It's not because of the season. And then there's the value of things. My God, how good did we have it back in the 90s? As far as how we related to one another. You had to have some heart, you know what I'm saying? You had to have some heart. Even if it was just talking to girls and getting numbers and shit, there was just like a whole other process. You didn't have no screen names, you couldn't fake the funk. And if you did, it wasn't for long. Because we could clearly see, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it makes those interactions nowadays even more valuable because they're so rare. I'm talking about some genuine shit. I'm sitting at the park and, of course, and I meet this couple from Japan, of all places. And they were artists as well. And we had a bit of a language barrier, except for the translator who came over every now and then. But we just sat there for about 20 minutes appreciating each other's art. And, you know, using sign languages and single words and shit like that. But it was so wholesome, you know what I'm saying? It was really wholesome to get a different perspective from people who live totally different lives, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, their state is just about as dire as ours as far as the world is concerned. Because they're like, everything over there is just busy, 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 money, money, money. Nobody has time to enjoy their families, take time out. I mean, they were on a trip, but you know, they had to pack it all in. They was on their way to New York right after here, kind of thing. Yeah, man, it was definitely different. And I think that's where the divide, that's where the shit really happens, because it's not, I don't know, it seems like it's not passed down in a way. I think technology had a really big impact on that, whereas I'm assuming you're more of a 2000s kind of generation. Technology was already in place. The web was already in place. So that's all y'all knew. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny talking like that because it's like, damn, this is what the old heads, how they used to talk to us. We were like, what the fuck they talking about? You know what I mean? But something got lost that made us stronger as the generations passed. And we let more of our own accountability slip away from us. But that really just is about, you know, everything is a tool. And it just depends on how we use the tool, right? So it's not a diss against technology. I love it. Shit, we're on different, you know what I'm saying? We in different parts of the country, the world, talking on a damn phone right now, which is cool. But we really need to balance that shit out. moving forward. It's like, for example, it's like the NBA. I don't know if you're a basketball fan, but when we were playing coming up, it was rough. I mean, it was life lessons out there, you know what I'm saying? Holding your own against all these decorated warriors, if you will. And they passed you the trade through trial and error. You know, there was an initiation, there was a rite of passage. You know, you really worked on your craft. Yeah, that moderation thing. I don't know, I'm a dreamer. I like to envision the world, what it would look like in the right hands. Because it wasn't peaches and cream back then either. Like the Reagan era, like somebody got at Reagan, you know what I'm saying? They got at Kennedy. Like, damn. This dude just got in his car with his so-called plan. And that shit had me cracking up how he was running past the desk with the little checkpoint and everything. It's just like that whole shit just looks wrong. I just think as a whole we've given up way too much of our own power and our accountability. Got kind of lazy, you know what I'm saying? Man, we're all guilty. I don't care what age you are, whatever. But it offered way too much of a shortcut. Like I said, there used to be a rite of passage. You had to prove yourself. Back when the hip hop was just starting to pick up steam, like all of those people who were dope were people who were, you know what I'm saying, battle tested and not in the arena for millions of dollars or none of that. Nah, it was like right there on the block while they was like, you know, selling drugs or some shit. It was just something to pass the time. But it came with practice, you know what I'm saying? It came with a bit of that healthy competition there, you know what I'm saying? Now anybody can be a damn rapper, be auto-tuned, you can sing your ass off somehow without actually having to train your voice. You know what I'm saying? And even stuff like this. I don't know how many people come back later on showing, like I got one client now who wanted his logo changed because the AI just wasn't cut. It's like it was the scariest looking piece of art I've ever seen in my life because the character had like 3 legs or some shit. It was going in all these different directions. It just lacked the substance. And the experience of actually playing in these sports that were depicted. So it was a whole mess. But when you go that route, you don't have to pay anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's free. As far as the, you might just have to pay for the program, whatever. And it doesn't have the quote unquote human error in it, I guess. But now on the flip side, we got fans of different genres making their own AI movies. I saw one with Transformers. They had the Dinobots versus the Predacons, and that looked like the movie we should have got. You know what I'm saying? That looked like the movie I would have paid 20 to go see. Subtitles and all. I wouldn't have cared. Mm. It's all good though. I wouldn't want a perfect world. I think we do need that element of duality to see things for what it really is. But like if I was from another planet visiting this motherfucker and I saw that shit, man, like what the fuck is y'all doing down here? It'd be like I ain't landing a motherfucking shit. You saw what they did with Jesus. Shit. He came to save him and they put his ass on the cross. That kind of shit. You have to circle back around. That's about another million years till they get that shit right. Something like that. And let's not talk about relationships. I'll take a break on that one. I'm gonna go back to this one for the rest of our broadcast. But appreciate y'all hanging out and indulging in my ramblings. about that? And I got me a new lighter. Let's switch up the vibe a little bit. Maybe now, after we can let this stew in the back burner, we done got a little clarity on where we want to go with this one. What does that say? Does it help with your creative process? At times it does. It's about half and half. It's about half and half. It's not necessary, but it does help in certain aspects. You know, I don't know it all. I can't see from all perspectives. So it helps to have people offer their take on things. You know, how they see things. It's kind of like an art class when they put the object in the middle of the room and everybody had to draw it from their perspective, you know what I'm saying? You didn't see the little hole with the worm on it unless you were sitting on that side kind of shit. So you didn't get that experience. Or maybe it was cut in half and you didn't get the side with the seeds in it, you know what I mean? So to see somebody's take or hear their side of the story. We're looking at the same apple, you know what I'm saying? But we have a different experience with it. Oh yeah, Versi B. I see where I went wrong right there. Nah, but half the time, the conversation is really with yourself. And I can carry on a full-blown conversation with jokes and the whole nine for hours. You know what I'm saying? That's how comfortable I am with myself. And it just helps to figure things out like that. And I think we hold too much inwards, you know what I'm saying? But even with these paintings and the artwork that I do, especially for self, I view those as conversations, even if I'm not saying a word. I'm talking to an energy or a frequency, you know what I'm saying? I'm conversating with the divine, trying to figure this shit out. Let's see. Let's start to reroute this bad boy. Let's get some white. But in my experience, you know, I don't think people realize the value of their perspective. You don't have to be a fucking dime or a world-class athlete or $1 million tycoon or no shit like that. You just have to have experience in your own mind. But when you tell me that you were drawing on the side with the apple cut in half and you saw the seeds and everything, now that makes me curious and want to switch my perspective just to have that experience for myself and come to my own conclusion about it. Let's get the bigger boys. we're gonna have to get a little dirty here. And what I mean by dirty is we're just gonna start dumping paint on here. Where's that brush? I have one brush that fits perfectly these bottles. What did I do? I think she got that. Well, you will. But it's really not about the future. You can have that conversation anytime you want. It's really just honoring where you're at. None of us has all the answers. You know what I'm saying? I haven't figured this shit out 100%. That's an ongoing process. You know what I mean? Some paintings take an hour, some paintings take years. You feel me? It just depends on what the conversation is about. And honoring what you would like to experience. Maybe you don't like apples, you want to do oranges, you know what I'm saying? Fucking papaya. But if we think about it, we're all kind of an expert on something. There it is. There it is. But I tell you, that comes from finding people who are smarter than you. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. I like to find the smartest person in the room, kind of thing. Someone who's smarter than I am, who could take me from my level to where they're going, or where they're at, and put my mind on a different track. I was just telling the people, because I did a reading earlier, because I do tarot, and I do a couple things with this channel. It's just things that I love, you know what I'm saying? That there's this homeless guy, turned out to be one of my greatest teachers about the way we speak to ourselves and the things that we say just out of, like an automated response. And it was something as simple as a lighter. And I got a new lighter and it matches my pants. I love it. But he came up to me and he asked me, did I have a light? And I said no. And we parted ways. And something kind of stuck with me with that. Because I was walking back home from the store, and when I got home, I had realized what I had said. He asked me if I had a light. And you could take that so many different ways, but you got to understand that the subconscious mind doesn't differentiate the way we do. It takes things literal. You know what I'm saying? And when I thought about it, I said, damn, I just told somebody I don't have a light. As in, I don't shine. You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy. And from that point on, I really watched the words I was using, especially in reference to myself. And it changed a lot. So just the other day, somebody asked me the same thing. But instead of doing the whole robot thing of, no, I don't have a light, I said, yeah, I do have a light. It's just not the kind you're looking for. You see what I'm saying? So even though that wasn't his intention, the guy who asked for the light initially, that's what I took from it. And that just reminded me that everybody has something. We gotta get a bigger, there. We'll bring you down here. Let's get it. And we got 15 good minutes. I do my best to just do an hour. But lately, we've been going overtime. Because that would be worse than death if things just stayed the way they were and never changed. If I was still doing the same shit I was doing back in the 90s, you feel me? That would feel more like death. I thought I had some purple around this mug. There it is. Some orchid. Let's see what this does. Let's get these here. Put a little there. Let's give it a little bit more up there. Still too close. Let's get that all out of there. Let's start over. And that's been the basis of my work. This is a rather old piece that's kind of evolved as I've evolved. And this is the way I mark my growth. You know, cool beans, you make money off it, whatever, but what you learn about yourself is priceless in the process. So I don't mind taking a step back and looking at something with a new set of eyes. Because I'm not worried about the result. So that's my spill this Sunday evening. I'm gonna get rid of that too. This lets me know I got ahead of myself right up here. So let's take it a few steps back when it was really flowing. This will be right here. And we'll take a little bit off the bottom. Agreed. See, you're getting it already. You're getting it already. Go, baby. Go, baby, go, baby. Damn, do I have any? See how many burgundy left. That's what I was looking at. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. We'll do a little bit more. Then we'll call it. Just let it settle. Good enough for now. We're gonna let it dry. Feels better. Sometimes you gotta take a couple steps back. No big deal. But shout out to Pilot Trigger. Appreciate you for stopping through and everybody else. I thoroughly enjoyed tonight, getting back to the fun of things. And we'll be back to do it again. All right, good people. Have a great day, night, whenever you see it.